5 different chess traps. The fishing pole, traps. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6, short castle, knight g4, h3, h5, pawn takes g4, pawn takes g4, knight e1, queen h4, f3, g3, d4, queen h2, checkmate. The center game traps, part 1. e4, e5, d4, pawn takes d4, queen takes d4, knight c6, queen e3, bishop b4, c3, bishop a5, bishop c4, knight e7, queen g3, short castle, h4, knight g6, h6, knight e5, bishop g5, queen e8, bishop f6, g6, pawn takes g6, pawn takes f6, rook h8, checkmate. The northern gambit traps. e4, e5, d4, pawn takes d4, c3, pawn takes c3, bishop c4, pawn takes b2, bishop takes b2, d5, bishop takes d5, bishop b4, check, king f1, knight f6, queen f4, check, knight c6, bishop takes knight c6, pawn takes bishop c6, queen takes bishop b4, queen d1, check, queen e1, bishop a6, check, knight e2, bishop takes knight e2, check, king g1, queen e1, checkmate. The martial chess traps. e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, knight takes pawn e5, d6, knight f3, knight takes pawn e4, d4, d5, bishop d3, bishop d6, short castle, c4, bishop g4, pawn takes pawn d5, f5, rook e1, bishop takes pawn h2, king takes bishop h6, knight takes pawn f2, queen e2, knight takes bishop d3, queen takes knight d3, bishop takes knight f3, queen takes bishop f3, queen h4, check, queen h3, queen takes rook e1, bishop d2, queen f2.
Siberian chess traps. c3, pawn takes c3, knight takes c3, knight c6, knight f3, e6, bishop c4, queen c7, short castle, knight f6, queen e2, knight g4, h3, knight d4, knight takes knight d4, queen h2, checkmate.